Good evening. People living in a tower block in Southampton say they feel trapped in their homes and unable to sell due to dangerous cladding.
Today, the government announced a 5-year scheme which would see all high-rise buildings over 18 metres made right by 2029.
But those living at Oceana Boulevard say they've already endured years of desperation and aren't convinced the plans will materialise. With more, here's Harry Acton.
For pensioner Kate Bean, this flat was supposed to be the perfect place to retire in. She's one of hundreds living on Oceana Boulevard, facing rising costs and no way out.
A lot of people are trapped in their flats. They can't sell their homes because of these issues. Families have outgrown their properties. In some instances, I think families are falling apart because of this. And that is a tragedy. You know, nobody wants that because of a financial issue.
Today's announcement by the government would effectively force companies to make buildings like Oceana Boulevard safe to live in and remove the dangerous cladding from the walls. All works would have to be complete by 2029, but campaigners worry it won't go far enough.
There's no real information on how they're actually going to make it happen. There's talk about penalties, but it's all quite vague, really. I don't think they're going to hit those targets, and that's going to be 12 years after the Grenfell tragedy. The National Audit Office report has said it's going to be 20 years after the tragic events at Grenfell before buildings over 11 metres are made safe. I think it's still a long, long way to go yet.
Well, investigations have begun here at Oceana Boulevard to work out what remedial works may need to take place. But residents fear by the time meaningful change does happen, it could be too little, too late.
This has been going on for such a long time and caused a lot of upset for many of the residents, including myself as a business owner here. The fear after Grenfell was always, could it happen to us? And of course you can't, we're not experienced enough to understand the building or what materials we use. Is there a risk here?
The government insists that today's measures will make a difference to those affected by dangerous cladding. But the people on Oceana Boulevard fear it's just more years of uncertainty. Harry Acton, ITV News, Southampton.
Well, a spokesperson for Barratt Redrow plc, which is responsible for carrying out the remedial work, said once the investigations are complete, a detailed scope of works will be produced and the designs will be submitted to the Building Safety Regulator for approval. They added they are providing residents with regular updates regarding the process.
Well, for more on this, over now to our political correspondent Kit Bradshaw at Westminster. Kit, campaigners not happy with the government plan, so what are MPs saying?
Sangeeta, you're absolutely right. Those campaign groups really aren't happy today with how long this is all taking. One of those groups, End Our Cladding Scandal, says that there's still not a comprehensive solution when it comes to building safety. There's lots of government pots and schemes, and they said that today's announcement makes a horribly complicated process worse with further layers of bureaucracy. Labour ministers, on the other hand, tell us that what they've done is set an end date that wasn't in place when they came to power.
We know that people have waited too long. It's been 7.5 years since the Grenfell Tower tragedy showed, the extent of dangerous cladding in this country. On the current trajectory that we've inherited as a government, it'll be into the 2040s before that's resolved. We don't think that's good enough. So the measures that we're announcing to Parliament today bring that forward to 2029. We want it to be as quick as it can be, but we think that's the right line in the sand to draw.
Even though the Conservatives didn't set a cut-off point when they were in power, they're not happy with how far in the future Labour's is.
5 years is a very, very long time. I think what we want to see is some of the immediate response, actually, when it comes to some of those convictions that we've been talking about and those investigations. We need to see some more action there, particularly those around those who did actually illegal stuff in the run-up to Grenfell.
But politicians squabbling about end dates isn't going to help you if you're watching the programme tonight in a block of flats with flammable cladding in Bournemouth, Brighton or Basingstoke. It seems that when it comes to politics and planning, nothing moves quickly.
Kit, thank you.